All right, this is a quick video about how to forward your Gmail to Proton Mail or to any other provider. First things first, you need to log into your Gmail. I'm about to show a very, very, very old Gmail. You can see the date stamps on these go way back to 2019. That's because all the mail has been forwarded. Click on Settings, click on See All Settings, and then click on Forwarding and Pop IMAP. This is not particularly obvious, particularly to beginners. This is why we're doing this video. Um, and here you'll see forwarding, learn more, disable forwarding, forward a copy of incoming email to, this is my current email, and delete the Gmail copy. Now, if you are unclear about this at first, I would probably have it keep it. Just know that you're gonna need to go clean it out if you keep that. If you keep that around, you'll need to go clean it out, and your Gmail will fill up, and it becomes kind of annoying. And as you can see, I still have tons of stuff left over from 2019 that I still haven't cleaned out. So I have it set to delete the copy. Now, the downside of that is you don't get in, if your Proton, in this case, rwx.gg is my Proton Mail. There's a separate video about Proton Mail. Make sure you go watch a video about Proton Mail and why to use it and why I use it and why I think it's the primary one. But this is how you do the forwarding. By the way, this forwarding includes the ability to send multiple email addresses to my single Proton Mail account, free Proton Mail account. What do I mean by that? So I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm not going to send any email right now, but I want to show you all the different things that you can do with the single email address. Okay, so my Gmail is Rabma, so gmail.com. And so here we go. Rabma at gmail.com. That's one of my addresses. And a lot of people don't know this about Gmail, but we're going to be, I don't know where to put this video, so I'm going to just put it here. Google automatically supports, without documenting it very well, the plus. So you can put the plus after this, and you can put whatever you want here. So you have an infinite number of email addresses that you can use. This is very powerful. I've talked about this in the GitHub video, but I want to make its own video when we're talking about forwarding, because Proton Mail doesn't support multiple infinite email addresses. But if you are setting up, pseudo accounts or generic accounts out there, test accounts on GitHub or whatever, and you don't want to necessarily create a new email address, this is very powerful because you can have all of those, an infinite number of email addresses, all forwarded to your central account just by using this supported convention. This convention has been around since 2013. And all you have to do is add a plus. You can put whatever you want here. So you could say, GitHub test1 at gmail.com, or two, you know what I'm saying? There is another thing you can do here. You can actually use a dot. You can actually put a dot anywhere in the email address. This isn't as useful, but these are all equivalent. So all of these emails that I'm putting here are going to go to the same person. And so the number of dots, you can actually put multiple dots if you want. So I think what happened over there at Google, I don't know, but I think what happened at Google is that they started doing the dots and they realized, you know what, we need a more generic way to just redirect any email whatsoever. A lot of people don't know this. In fact, I'm pretty sure most people watching this video, it's going to, for many of them, even though they've been in the industry for a long time, it's going to be the first time they've seen this. This is why it's super important that you do this. Does the email get used and filtered by Google, and does Google invade your privacy more than others? Yes, that's a separate video. But what I want to just point out is that you can leverage this in many capacities, but as a professional, as a technology professional, this is an extremely powerful way to manage multiple accounts without having multiple email addresses. If you're an educator, I have used this before. I have used this method before to set up private schools. So in one case, actually, I don't mind sharing the school with you. I had Woodlawn plus, and then first dot last at gmail.com. And so I was able to provide, this is actually a really valuable way to provide email access that is you're an authorized user. Um, but so like say you're setting up somebody with VS Code or GitLab, or you're using some sort of service that requires a unique email, you can still fulfill the school policies of having an adult behind the email that's receiving any email that's sent to it. So if there's unsolicited spam, and God knows there is in the internet, it's not going to minor children, who in your student's body. It goes all into that one account, and then you are there. So the other great thing about this is if somebody does like a password reset, or one of your students is struggling for some reason, and that the account that they're using that is associated with that email that's coming to you, you're getting the emails and not the student. The student's not having to log in, and they're not having to justify their existence on Gmail and Google. You don't have that whole problem. In fact, you can negate the entire conversation. You probably should tell the parents that you're setting them up an account, but that you're the one receiving the email. But when you're dealing with children under 13, in particular, this is a consideration if you're teaching in a public school system in America, anyway. And there's some places where it might be actually against the law for a child to have an account or a Google. That's up to you to decide. But by using this technique of adding the plus after that and creating one account that's associated with an adult who's responsible for all the people that are using that account for whatever reason, I really feel that ethically that's the best solution for those kind of things. So this is a pretty long video, but I'm really pleased to have discovered this. It took me a couple years actually to discover all these little quirks while I was working at SkillStack, and I just want to make that available to everybody else.